Jake, the Florida blood who exposed.
Here we go.
What's happening, people? Back with another video. Now we all know 1090 Jake, the Florida blood who exposes snitches on his YouTube.
Is this a nigga from the UK? Yo, the international commentators are like, they jump out the woodworks when this shit come up, don't they?
YouTube channel. End of sentence. Well, recently 1090 Jake has had karma come back to bite him, as he has just been exposed for giving Tampa police a statement the year that he was sent to prison. Since the paperwork has been exposed, 1090 Jake has contacted his lawyer to try and currently get the case stricken from court records. So let's get into the paperwork. Here's the first page of the paperwork. As we can see, Jacob Cherry with all his information. It then says statement taken, yes, and then a list of the suspect's description given by 1090 Jake. On the next page, we have narrative text given by the police officer who attended the scene that night. On the 23rd of March 2012, we responded to an address in reference to shots fired in the residence. Upon my arrival, I searched the immediate area for two suspects, two white male teens approximately 13 to 14 years of age. One male was wearing a red t-shirt and shorts. The second male was wearing a black t-shirt and grey shorts. He was the suspect with the gun. The two suspects were not found during this search of the area. I responded back to the residence and conducted the eyewitness's interview. See his listed sworn statement, referring to 1090 Jake. I observed two small holes in the upper part of the bedroom window on the east side of the residence. It was determined that the suspects used an airsoft pellet gun. There were no holes in the walls of the bedroom after contact with the window, and no pellets were located inside the residence. This is the first time the two suspects have been seen in the area by the eyewitness. No further leads to this investigation at this time. On the next page, we get into the eyewitness statement. The eyewitness, Jacob Cherry, made the following sworn statement. He was sitting in the living room watching television. He heard glass break in the bedroom and what sounded like a gunshot. He walked in the bedroom and saw two holes in the window. He looked out the window and saw two white teens about 13 to 14 years of age. One was a Hispanic wearing a red shirt and shorts. The other was wearing a black.
Holy. Is this true? Is this
Man,
true?
I fell down to my knees when the law came.
Is this true?
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came.
This ain't true.
Black t-shirt and green shorts. He was the one carrying the black airsoft handgun. They saw him looking at them and they ran northbound on Fremont towards Waters. He has never seen them in the area before and cannot identify them. Now you're probably wondering, how did the internet get a hold of this paperwork? Well, I'm going to leave a clip in here explaining exactly how.
Alright, so I'm gonna tell y'all how I came upon this paperwork. And I got some corresponding messages between me and 1090 from this morning. So we basically spoke about, you know, what was mentioned in this actual paperwork. So now he basically, I'm gonna tell you what he thinks about all of this, right? He's saying that I'm basically trying to get some get back from the whole Boston Richie situation, because what I was able to do is, on the whole Boston Richie case, I was able to obtain like all the documentation.
I see y'all saying talk Playboy Cardi. We're gonna talk about it afterwards. Chill.
Related to his case. It was like 14 videos and like 13 audios and stuff like that. Like his dad actually sat down with the detectives that were involved. There were two other people that sat down with detectives, so on and so forth. So this is not like no get back to get at him for putting out that video, but I was kind of agitated, right? So after he had put out that video, I did what was called a public record request. That's how most of these videos that he obtained, like interrogation videos and stuff, Florida, they follow by a transparency law where they allow the public, law enforcement, or anybody to request all of this documentation. So I noticed that on Hillsborough County that he has multiple cases, and I noticed that there's one particular case where they consolidated all together, which he had caught numerous cases throughout the time that basically they consolidated it all together, and that all sent them to prison, right?
I'm gonna play him talking to No Jumper afterwards. I don't want to cut this person off and make it seem like I'm biased.
So on the Hillsborough County, I noticed that when you read it, when you guys look at an affidavit, it's basically what they used to say Boston Richey was a snitch, allegedly, right? In the beginning, they looked at the affidavit, they saw 3 witnesses, they notified him as being witness number 3. That's an affidavit. They send that to the judge sign off on it, then the police come pick them up for a warrant, whatever the case may be. So I noticed that on his affidavits, it's only like 1 or 2 pages, and his case was pretty, it was pretty big. And I noticed that, damn, I'm like, damn, they only got 2 pages for, you know, all of these charges. I believe it was like burglary and so on and so forth. So what I did was I put in a public record request with the prosecutors on his case. Now I got the documentation. It's like 60 something. I want to say it's like 70, maybe 70 pages of his entire case, including an interrogation video of his co-defendant, which is Tyrell. So that's just the case that sent him to prison. Then he had another cases which he was carrying a concealed firearm, which another dude he was.
No disrespect, bro. We gotta get to this shit, bro. Let me see. 1090 Jake. I think he talks to No Jumper. Let's see what he said.
That's an actual thing.
Every morning.
Wait, are you gonna move like?
There you go.
Like
Oh,
that?
that's like some.
That's snitching, bro.
What if you're driving on the street and someone
Like
That's
if
fucked up.
like
That-
All criminals.
years
Because
later?
I'm running. I'm chasing.
Your own police work.
He got ties to the end.
Okay, here we go.
What's going on? They're trying to smear your name. What? We got to talk about it.
Man, they tight right now. I talked to the person who put it out, and you know he's saying his whole reasoning behind it was off the Boston Richey shit. He said he got ties to the industry. So it seems like ever since I did that video on bruh, they trying to find any little thing they can get to make me go away type shit.
Yeah, I figured. What actually happened in that situation though that was described in the paperwork?
Bro, that whole shit lame as hell. So basically, my aunt had some shit in her room. You know, I don't want to fucking give too many details on shit, but she used to have guns and shit. And I was locked out of the room. So I went outside and I popped the window with a fucking pellet rifle twice. I shoot the window right above where the lock switch is, so I can stick like a pen or a pencil in the hole and flip open the lock and then open up the window from the outside. So when I popped this shit, I shot it the first time, it made a little hole. I shot it the second time, made a big ass hole. So I'm like, all right, fuck, now I need to make up a story. So I call her and tell her this whole story. Yeah, I heard a shot, da 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 da. I seen this, I seen that. She ends up calling the police. Police come, whatever. That's where the whole fucking narrative came from. It says in the paperwork, nobody was found.